Hello, hello everyone. Myself, Professor Snehal Kadwane. Welcome to the session on to determine nodal displacement of a step bar using direct stiffness method. In this session, we will mainly see how to determine displacement at nodes for a step bar stiffness method. Question: using direct stiffness method, determine nodal displacement of a step bar as shown in figure. Figure is in front of you. In this question, we have considered step bar. This step bar is having two elements. First element is indicated by 1, second element is indicated by 2. For this step bar, for a first element, length is 50 mm. For second element, length is 50 mm. Both the elements are having same length, but their properties are different. As per data, for first element, Young's modulus is noted by E1 and value is 200 GPa. While for first element, area is 150 mm square. Then for second element, Young's modulus is 70 GPa and its area is 100 mm square. So for this step bar, for it's having two elements, both the elements are having same length but their properties are different, that is their area is different and modulus of elasticity is different. We can see at in second element that two forces exist. One force exists at extreme right side, which is denoted by F2. Its value is 5 kilonewton, while at adjacent side of first and second element, F1 acts towards the LHS and its value is given 10 kilonewton. That is, element 1 experiences 10 kilonewton force while second element is pulled by F2 and its magnitude is 5 kilonewton. So for this question, that the step bar having two elements with different area, different modulus of elasticity and various forces, we are asked to calculate nodal displacement, and that also by using direct stiffness method. Solution: question is to find out displacement at node. Therefore, first of all, we must know where are the nodes, at which location we are supposed to calculate the displacement. That's why in this method, to find out nodal displacement, very first step is discretization. What is meaning of discretization? Discretization means we divide our continuum into finite number of elements. Here we have only two elements. That's why figure B can be represented in terms of figure A. Figure A is nothing but the finite element model for our physical problem. Physical problem is figure B and a finite element model is figure A. Observe diagram B. For diagram B, we can observe at very extreme left hand side, it is fixed. That's why first element will be fixed at extreme left side and we will consider that point as a 1. So at point 1 we are having fixed condition, fixed support, that is displacement will be 0 at point 1. Next, element 1 we will consider to get discretized into node 1 and node 2, while second element will get discretized in between node 2 and 3. So node 2 is nothing but the intermediate node between first element and second element. Now about displacement. Number of displacement are equal to number of nodes. For example, if we have two nodes, there will be two displacement. If we have five nodes, there will be five displacement. As per our numerical, as this diagram or this physical model, it has three nodes, therefore displacement will be 3. But out of 3 displacement, node 1 is fixed, our step bar is fixed at point 1, therefore d1 will be 0. d1 stands for the displacement at node 1, d2 stands for the displacement at point 2, while d3 stands for the displacement at point 3. And this was our question, that we are supposed to calculate d1, d2 and d3, that is nodal displacement. Displacement always occurs at node, that's why they are termed as a nodal displacement. As per question, we are asked to calculate d1, d2, d3, but as node 1 is fixed support, therefore d1 is equal to 0. We are supposed to calculate only d2 and d3. Now we will see how to find out this nodal displacement. Step 2. We will form element connectivity table. What is meaning of element connectivity table? You can observe the diagram, and with respect to that observe the table also. Element 1 lies between node 1 and 2, while element 2 lies between the node 2 and 3. This is known as the element connectivity table, which represents that a particular element lies between which two nodes. Our first element lies between node 1 and 2, while second element lies between node 2 and 3. Third step, we are asked to calculate nodal displacement. For that, our very first step of calculation is that we calculate element stiffness matrix. There are two types of stiffness matrix. First is elemental, second is global. In this diagram, we are having two elements. So if we will calculate stiffness matrix specifically for a particular element only, for example for element 1, then it becomes elemental. Again, if separately we will calculate stiffness matrix for element 2, again it will become elemental stiffness matrix. But if we will calculate stiffness matrix for an entire step bar, then it will be known as a global stiffness matrix. Therefore, our first step is we find out elemental stiffness matrix. Elemental stiffness matrix is represented by formula K is equal to AE upon L into 1 minus 1 minus 1 1. This formula remains same for 2 by 2. Next, K stands for the notation of elemental stiffness matrix. So elemental stiffness matrix is represented by letter K. A1 is area of first element, E1 is modulus of elasticity for first element, while L1 is length of the first element. Therefore, K1 is equal to A1 E1 upon L1, 1 minus 1 minus 1 1. 2 by 2 matrix. You can observe in a red color locations 1 2 1 2. That is, this K1 is nothing but the stiffness matrix for first element, and this first element it lies between node 1 and 1 2. That's why everywhere you will observe in a red color 1 and 2. Its meaning is that this stiffness matrix is for a first element which lies between node 1 and node 2. From data we will put value. Area was given 150 mm square. Then modulus of elasticity was given 200 in gigapascal. We will convert it into Newton per mm square. So multiplied by 10 raised to 3 divided by length, that was given 50 mm. Be remember, during calculation either we have to consider all unit in meter, in centimeter or mm. All unit must be same. Here I have considered all units in mm. After putting all the values, what we will do, we will make calculation of that 150 into 200 upon 50. From that we will just take 10 raised to 5 power common out, and inside the matrix we will take that 6. Therefore, K1 is equal to 10 raised to 5 into 6 minus 6 minus 6 6. Here we have calculated stiffness matrix for element 1. Similarly, Next step, we will calculate stiffness matrix for element 2. As its element 2, therefore its stiffness matrix will be noted by letter K2, and its formula is now A2 E2 upon L2, 1 minus 1 minus 1 1. From data we will substitute values of area, modulus of elasticity and length. Area is 100 mm square. E2 was given 70 GPa. We will convert it into Newton per mm square. That's why 70 into 10 raised to 3 upon L2 50. We will make multiplication and we will keep 10 raised to 5 power outside, and multiplication factor 1.4 will be taken inside the matrix. Therefore, we will get K2 is equal to 10 raised to 5 into 1.4 minus 1.4 minus 1.4 into 1.4, and everywhere on that matrix you will observe 2 3 2 3, everywhere 2 3. Its meaning is that this K2 stands for the second element which lies between node 2 and node 3. Step 4, we assemble global stiffness matrix. What is global stiffness matrix? Addition of elemental stiffness matrix. In this problem there are n nodes and our nodes are actually 3. Therefore our final matrix will be of order 3 by 3. See, that's why global stiffness matrix will be represented by capital K, and that is equal to K1 plus K2. Equation number 7. You can observe diagram. First element was having only two nodes. Means one element will always have two nodes. That's why K1 is of order 2 by 2. Again second element has two nodes. Therefore matrix will be of order 2 by 2. But when we think about the total step bar, it is having 3 nodes. Therefore it will be of 3 by 3 order. Capital K stands for the global stiffness matrix, that is the stiffness matrix of a complete step bar. So that is equal to K1 plus K2. Already we have calculated K1 and K2, equation number 3 and equation number 6. We will calculate capital K, that is K1 plus K2. We will keep that 10 raised to 5 power outside. Now be remember, K1 has node number 1 and 2 while K2 has node number 2 and 3. That's why first of all, while writing stiffness matrix in a global form, we will first place node position. In a red color 1, 2, 2, 3, whatever you are observing, they stands for the node's position. First node, second node, third node. So likewise, first of all, in a red color we will write that 1 2 3 in a horizontal line as well as 1 2 3 in a vertical line. Observe equation number 8. So in equation number 8, first we will put node position horizontally 1 2 3, vertically 1 2 3. Now how to place element? For example, horizontally first is 1, vertically first is 1. So 1 1. We can observe from equation 3, 1 1 is equal to 6. So we will place 6. Similarly, horizontally 2, vertically 1. So 2 1. Again from equation 3, 2 1 is minus 6. Similarly 3 1. You can observe there is no element in equation number 3 as well as in equation number 6 which has location as 3 1. So that element will become 0. Similarly, we will place all elements. Only what will happen, in equation number 3 there is also 2 2, as well as in equation number 6 there is also 2 2. In equation number 3 at 2 2 there is 6, while in equation number 6 at 2 2 there is 1.4. That's why in equation number 8 we will make 6 plus 1.4 and we will get global stiffness matrix. Equation number 9 represents global stiffness matrix, which is the addition of elemental stiffness matrix. Step number 5, we will write the equation relating stiffness, displacement and force in global form. Question was to find out displacement. To find out displacement, mathematical model is K D is equal to F. K stands for the global stiffness matrix, just we have calculated. D stands for the displacement. Capital F stands for the forces acting on the elements. Global stiffness matrix, just we have calculated. We will write same stiffness matrix 10 raised to 5 into 3 by 3 matrix. Now D vector, number of displacement is equal to number of node. As we have 3 nodes, therefore we will have 3 displacement d1, d2, d3. Similarly, number of forces are equal to number of node. As we have 3 node, we will have 3 forces F1, F2, F3. Next step is we apply boundary condition. We can observe at node 1 step bar is fixed. See, if it is fixed at some node or a location, by default its displacement will become 0 at that node. Therefore d1 is equal to 0. Next, f2 and f3, in diagram they are considered as a f1 and f2. So actually that f2 will stand for the f1 and f3 will stand for the f2. I have considered f2 and f3 only because of the nodal position. So f2 is actually f1. It is acting in LHS, therefore it will be written as minus 10 into 10 raised to 3 Newton, while f3 means node at point 3, in diagram it is located as f2 with magnitude 5. It is acting towards the RHS. We will consider positive magnitude plus 5 into 10 raised to 3. These three boundary condition we will apply in equation number 11, that is KD equal to F. Step number 6 is as we apply elimination approach. Observe equation number 13 first of all. In equation number 13, on LHS we have K matrix, D matrix. On RHS we are having force matrix. How we apply elimination approach? There is a rule for elimination approach that if displacement is 0 at a particular node, in that case we eliminate that particular row and column. I will repeat, if displacement is 0 at some node, we eliminate particular row and column. As per this problem statement, displacement is 0 at node 1. Therefore, we will eliminate row 1 and column 1. You can observe that sky blue color line. I have eliminated first row, I have eliminated first column. We will not calculate D1 because already we know it's a 0. Therefore, eliminating row 1 and column 1 and putting values of forces, we get equation number 14. And we can observe, because of elimination approach, 3 by 3 matrix equation number 13 has been converted into 2 by 2 matrix equation number 14. Next step is we convert matrix into simultaneous equation. We were having 2 by 2 matrix, so therefore we will get two simultaneous equation. After expanding, we get two simultaneous equation, equation number 16 and equation number 18. And after solving these two simultaneous equation, we get D2 is equal to minus 0.1583 mm, while D3 is equal to minus 0.1226 mm. And this was the question that find out nodal displacement. So at node 2, displacement is minus 0.1583, while at node 3, displacement is minus 0.1226. Thank you.